the Vedanta and the Tantra, how they reconcile. Why Krishna is Kala? Usually, Mahakali, we connect with whom? Shiva. Okay, she's dancing on Shiva, Mahakala. But if you look at the Gita, what Krishna says? Ahameva Akshaya Kala. I am the indivisible time, Akhanda Kala. Again he says, Kalos, that I am the time, the destroyer. And when we think of Kali, we have the image of she is the destroyer, Samhara Kartri. Okay. She brings the destruction. What does she destroy? All that is old, all that is outdated, all that is to be removed for a new creation. She destroys that. तत्सवितुर्वरं रूपं ज्योतिः परस्य धीमहि यन्नः सत्येन दीपयेत् ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरं रूपं ज्योतिः परस्य धीमहि यन्नः सत्येन दीपयेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Namaskar. The Vidyas of the Upanishads and the Mahavidyas of the Tantra. This correspondence is something which is very meticulously worked out by Ganapati Muni in his Mahavidya Sutra. So what are the Vidyas in the Upanishad and how they are connected with the Tantric Mahavidyas? That's what is going to be the focus of this session. So now when we talk about the Vidyas in the Upanishad, the word Vidya is used in various senses in the Upanishad itself. For example, like when we say that Sa Vidya Ya Vimuktaye, this is a phrase which says Vidya is that which liberates us. So all our learning, higher learning, is Vidya. Again, you hear about Paravidya and Aparavidya. The Paravidya is the highest knowledge, which is the Brahma Vidya, and Aparavidya is all that we do. Sitting in a conference, in a workshop, we do our Swadhyay, we study the Vedas, Upanishads, Shastras, any Shastra, any science. So these are all Aparavidya. So Aparavidya is not something which is of lower kind. It's just for our convenience, the word is used. Aparavidya and Paravidya, and in order to attain to Paravidya, one has to go through the Aparavidya. It is not something which is to be neglected. This is another kind of meaning that you find of the Vidya. When you come to Ishopanishad, which is the first and foremost Upanishad, among all the principal Upanishads, it is the ancient most. And it's the only Upanishad which forms a part of the Samhita. It's the last chapter of Yajurveda Samhita. So, if you want to know what is Yajurveda Samhita, some of you may not know it. Like the Veda, what we know as the Veda, the eternal knowledge, which was received by the Rishis and Rishikas. So that was compiled into 4 books. So these four books are known as Rig Veda Samhita, Yajur Veda Samhita, Sam Veda Samhita, and Atharva Veda Samhita. These four collections of the Veda mantras. So, Yajurveda Samhita, the last chapter is Isha Upanishad. So, there also you find in two enigmatic verses, very complex verses, the use of the word Vidya and Avidya. Vidya, and whatever is the meaning of it, the opposite of it is Avidya, usually translated as knowledge and ignorance. Okay, but it is neither knowledge nor ignorance. So Vidya in Ishopanishad, Vidya refers to the unity of consciousness, and Avidya is the multiplicity, where division prevails. Okay. If you understand this meaning of Vidya, then Ishopanishad, in wherever the word Vidya and Avidya they are used, it makes sense. Now, this is another set of meaning in the Vidya. In general, Vidya is learning. Again, when you come to the concept of the Vidya, so there it has twofold meaning. First meaning is that all that is to be known is Vidya. All that is to be known or must be known, should be known, is to be known is Vidya. Along with it, it also has the meaning, the process by which all that is to be known is also called Vidya. Okay. For example, now there is a Bhargavi Varuni Vidya. So this will explain you what it is meant by Vidya. Now in Bhargavi Varuni Vidya, Bhrigu is the son of Varuna. Bhrigu is one character, a young rishi. He approaches his father Varuna, who is an accomplished rishi, a very learned teacher, very highly respectable rishi Varuna. So his son Bhrigu approaches him and he wants to understand what is to be known, what is to be contemplated, what is that Paravidya, what is that highest knowledge. Now Varuna, his father, is not telling him directly that, okay, this is what. Like you ask a question to me, I tell you that this is what is the answer. So the Upanishadic way of teaching was very, very different. Sometimes, there are different ways of teaching, like it differs from guru to guru. But in the case of Bhrigu and Varuna, so Varuna didn't give a direct answer to Bhrigu. He said that do like this, my child, go and contemplate. Silence yourself. In deep contemplation, whatever you receive, the message you receive, you come and report to me. Now Bhrigu goes back, contemplates, tries to ingather himself, and in the silence, he realizes, his first realization was that this material world, anything that we know as matter, annam, is the highest thing to be known. So we have to see in the matter everything. That spirit is Brahman. That annam is the spirit, is the Brahman. So he went back to his father Varuna and then said, Annam Brahmeti. So I learned that Annam is Brahman. This matter is the spirit. So Varuna was happy that he did it. And then he said, my dear child, what you have realized is the truth, but it is a truth, not the truth, is a truth. Go and contemplate more, and then you come back to me. So he goes, then spends much time in silence, then he realizes that there is something beyond annam, beyond matter, which is called the prana. So prana brahmeti. So prana is Brahman. So he comes and reports to Varuna that, this time I realized that it is the prana which is the spirit, which is the Brahman. So he said, good, this is also another truth, another step of realization. So I'm very happy that you did it, but go and contemplate more and then come and report to me what happens. So he comes back and then says, after some time, he says, Mano Brahmeti, that it is beyond Anna, beyond Prana, it is the Manas which is the Brahman. So again he says that go and contemplate more. There may be something beyond Anna, Prana and Manas. So he comes back and then says, Vijnanam Brahmeti is the Vijnana which is the Brahman. And then again he is advised to contemplate in silence. So he comes back and then says, before he says, Varuna says that you are shining with that. What is that? So Anandam Brahmeti. So it is the Ananda which is the Brahman. That was the ultimate realization, that he becomes identified with the Ananda and he becomes Ananda. Now see, to become Ananda, merge in Ananda, become one with it, is the Paravidya, is the supreme realization. But in order to attain to the supreme realization, he has to go step by step, realizing the Brahman in the matter, in the prana, in the manas, in Vijnana, and then merging into the Ananda, ultimately. So the Ananda, realization of Ananda is Vidya, and the processes involved in the realization is also Vidya. That's why this whole process is known as Bhargavi Varuni Vidya, because it is given by given to Bhrigu by his father Varuna. So like this, you have around 35 Vidyas in the Upanishads, 35 Vidyas. And we talk in the context of Tantra of Dasha Mahavidya, right? And now no one has done this comparison or correspondence of the Upanishadic Vidyas and the Dasha Mahavidya of the Tantra. This is where the unique work of Ganapati Muni is a must read for any sadhak who wishes or who aspires to know about the Dasha Mahavidyas. I will suggest you two books. One book is by one Mr. Shankar Narayanan. Shankar Narayanan. He wrote this book, and this book was entirely reviewed by MP Pandits. And who is MP Pandit? Now, if you look at the lineage, Ramana Maharshi, Ganapati Muni, Kapali Shastri, and MP Pandit. So it comes this way. So Kapali Shastri was a disciple of Ganapati Muni, and MP Pandit also was a disciple of Kapali Shastri. So this is how it comes, and MP Pandit ji, he has reviewed the entire book and even supplemented with lines from Savitri of Sri Aurobindo. It's a wonderful book on Dasha Mahavidya. So the title of the book is 10 Great Cosmic Powers. 10 Great Cosmic Powers. Amazingly written. And once you read that book, start reading that book, you'll say that I'll spend my entire life just reading this book. I don't need any other book. This gives me everything. That's how the book is presented, because it comes from a sadhak, a upasaka, who has gone through the whole process of the vidyas, the sadhanas. That's one book. And it's entirely interpreting the Dasha Mahavidya Sutras of Ganapati Muni. There's nothing new that he has done. He has simply put it in a language, understandable language for all of us, all that has been said in the Mahavidya Sutras of Ganapati Muni. The second book is by David Frawley, Dr. David Frawley, otherwise known as Pandit Vamadeva Shastri. So he also received a copy of Mahavidya Sutra before it was published, before it was printed, through Nateshan, who had preserved all the works of Ganapati Muni. So based on the Mahavidya Sutras of Ganapati Muni, David Frawley has written this book, Tantric System of Yoga and the Wisdom Goddesses, or maybe like Wisdom Goddesses and Tantric System of Yoga. This is the title. Both the books may be, like you can try it, may be available on the internet to download, but it's beautifully written, both the books and Dasha Mahavidya. Any other book you can read, there are plenty of books, but these are the absolutely top level books on Mahavidyas. So maximum of the things that I'm sharing with you, they are taken from this Ganapati Muni's Mahavidya Sutra, original, and then the books written by Shankar Narayanan and David Frawley. Okay. Plus, I am adding whatever knowledge I have on the Vedas and Upanishads and my own understanding of certain words and certain concepts and the Vedas and Upanishads and the Gita and the Tantra. So here, what Ganapati Muni has done, like in the Upanishads, as I told you, that the Vidyas are scattered. They are not at one place. Okay. There is another text which is Badarayana Vyasa's Brahma Sutra. In the Brahma Sutra, there is a whole chapter which lists around 28 Vidyas, all the Vidyas together, all the meditative exercises, the meditative processes by which the higher knowledge is attained. So those processes are listed in the Brahma Sutra at one place. But in the Upanishads, they are scattered. Like in Ishopanishad, you will find a Vidya. In Kenopanishad, you will find a Vidya. Maximum number of Vidyas you will find in Chandogya and Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which are the two big size Upanishads. Text-wise, they are bigger than any other Upanishad. Usually Upanishads are very precise, very concise. Like Ishopanishad has only 18 mantras, Mandukya Upanishad has got only 12 mantras. But Brihadaranyaka and Chandogya are huge, full of stories, full of these Vidyas. So there are various other places also where you find the mention of Vidyas. Altogether, you have more than 35 Vidyas which are listed by the tradition and explained by many other experts. So like you have Sadvidya, you have Samvarga Vidya, you have Shandilya Vidya, you have Upakoshala Vidya. So these names of the Vidyas are either as per the Guru's name, who has given, like Shandilya Vidya, because it is Rishi Shandilya who has given, or it is both by the Guru and the Shishya, like Bhargavi Varuni Vidya, or it is by only by the disciple to whom it is given, Upakushala Vidya, what he has received from Satyakama. Okay. And or the concept like Samvarga Vidya. Samvarga is a concept. So, or Vaishwanara Vidya, the prominence of the idea behind the Vidya. Okay. So, what is central to a particular Vidya? The name can be as per that. They are not very straightforward like the Dasha Mahavidya, right? The names. Now, out of these 35 Vidyas, there are 10 Vidyas identified by Ganapati Muni, which correspond to the Dasha Mahavidyas. Okay. So, the first among them, because first Mahavidya is Kali. So, with Kali Vidya, in order to explain the Kali Vidya, Kali Mahavidya of the Tantra, Ganapati Muni compares this Kali Vidya with Samvarga Vidya. And what is Samvarga Vidya? Samvarga is a word in Sanskrit which means Samvarjanat. Samvarjanat means like it is you just appropriate it or you absorb it, something you just absorb, or something which you consume, you swallow, something which you digest is called Samvarga. This is the meaning of the word Samvarga in the Upanishad. When it comes to the Vidya, so Samvarga essentially refers to the prana. Samvarga refers to the prana. The prana, the life force in the individual, and the Vayu in the cosmos. The Vayu in the cosmos. So these two are referred to as Samvarga. Now what happens? What is the connection of it with Kali? Prana and Kali. Now Kali Mahavidya, as I had given you a little explanation in the morning, that it is the Kala, the Akhanda Kala, the indivisible time force, the Kala Shakti. In its feminine form is Kali. And who is that Kala? That Kala is none other than Krishna. None other than Krishna. So this is where you find the Vedanta and the Tantra, how they reconcile. Why Krishna is Kala? Usually, Mahakali, we connect with whom? Shiva. Okay, she is dancing on Shiva, Mahakala. But if you look at the Gita, what Krishna says? Ahameva Akshaya Kala. I am the indivisible time, Akhanda Kala. Again he says, Kalos, that I am the time, the destroyer. And when we think of Kali, we have the image of she is the destroyer, Samhara Kartri. Okay. She brings the destruction. What does she destroy? All that is old, all that is outdated, all that is to be removed for a new creation. She destroys that. That is why she is Kala. She knows the time. She understands the time. She travels in the time. She knows when things to be destroyed and when things to be created. Okay. This is where Krishna says, Kalosmi, Loka Chayakrut Prabhupada. That I am the Kala and then I am here to destroy everything for a new creation. So this is where you find the Krishna Kali Sambandha, and Sri Aurobindo has spoken about it very beautifully in his writings about Krishna and Kali, especially in his record of yoga. Now, this Kala, this Mahakali, and when it comes to the Samvarga Vidya of the Prana Vidya or Samvarga Vidya in the Upanishad, it says that cosmically, at the cosmos, in the universe, Vayu, because at the cosmic level it is the Vayu, at the individual level it is the life force. So Vayu is the ultimatum of all, whether you talk about sun, moon, stars, anything. Nothing will exist, nothing will function without the presence of Vayu. Similarly, at the individual level, all our senses, our mind, everything will become deformed without prana. There's a beautiful story again in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where it says, once there was a fight amongst all the senses. So each sense boasted and then said that it is because of me things happen. And there was no solution to this quarrel. So they all decided to go to the Creator, the Supreme, and then ask what is the solution and who is great. Even the Creator had no solution to it. So he said, let me contemplate. So the Creator contemplated and then said to all that, look, it's very difficult to decide who is great. Let's follow a process. So then we all will realize who is great. So what is the process? He said, for 1 year, one of the senses leaves the body. Let's see what happens during that 1 year. So now eyes left and came back after 1 year. found that everything is going smoothly. Like a blind man, the person is operating. The same way, ears went for a year, nose went for a year. All the senses, one by one, they left the body and then went out for 1 year. And then after coming back, they found that everything is smoothly going without their presence. Then what is remaining? Now the prana started moving out of the body. When the prana started moving out of the body, everyone felt uncomfortable and then prayed that, okay, you are the great one. Without you, we can't survive. That's where the prana vidya is given much importance in the Upanishad. And if you want to collect materials on prana, so the highest source is the Upanishads, Upanishadic texts. Maximum things on prana you will collect from the Upanishads and from the texts on yoga. That how much importance is given to prana. And this prana, vayu and prana together, they are called the samvarga. Now, what happens when we sleep? In our speech, in our hearing. So all that happens through the different senses. It is the prana which functions from behind, and everything gets absorbed into prana when there is no activity. When there is no, when we are sleeping, when there is no activity, so everything gets absorbed into the prana. And that is why it is called the samvarga, because everything gets absorbed into the prana. The prana swallows everything, right? Now, Ganapati Muni, taking this vidya, samvarga vidya, and the importance of prana, he says that Kali, so how he is giving the correspondence, he says it is, first we need to understand that it is the dynamics, this prana, Shakti, the life force, the Vayu in the cosmos and the life force, the prana in the Sharira at the material level. This is the whole dynamics of the divine, the conscious power permeating the whole space that causes all manifestation. It is the supreme life, that is the life of all lives, making all activity and movement possible. That is why when the prana left, every sense, everything that is there in the body, it felt uncomfortable. That without prana, nothing can exist, nothing can even function. So it is this cosmic force, this prana, which the tantric people, this prana of the Upanishad, the Tantra calls it as a Kali. So now we will see like how beautifully Ganapati Muni has given this correspondence between prana and Kali. So he says, Kali is the feminine form of Kala. Kala iti Strilingakhya Kali iti uchyate. This is the sutra in the Mahavidya, which means that the feminine form of Kala is Kali. And this Kali, which is actually Kala, essentially it is Kala, the time spirit, is the greatest, is the supreme, is the foremost power in the universe. The Akhanda Kala. Then it says that this great force is responsible for all changes and it drives things to grow and develop. So, our growth, our evolution, our development, our moving forward, everything happens because of this Kala, because of Kali, because of Mahakala. That is what is responsible. Then it says that it is the Kala, because of its consuming power, it digests everything. Morning also, like I mentioned about it, that it digests everything because it is the Pachaka Shakti, Pachana Shakti. So it says, so in the Mahavidya Sutra, Ganapati Muni says, Pachakatvameva Kalasya Swarupam. Pachakatvameva Kalasya Swarupam. The essential form of Kala is Pachakatva, that it ripens everything. With time, everything grows. With the force, everything flows. So, time, therefore, is also life, the prana. Because life is our movement in time. When you read the Mahavidya Sutra of Ganapati Muni, this is what you will understand, that it is the life which is our movement in time. And through our own life force or prana, we experience time. Time is experienced only through the life force. So Kali as time is the prana, is the life force at the individual level, and at the universal level, Kali is also that Akhanda Kala, that uh, Vayu in the cosmos, which takes care of the growth, development, and the evolution of everything at the cosmic level. Now, this is what again Ganapati Muni says, that asmasu pravahanti sa shakti sreshta prana uchyate. It means like flowing in our own system, that prana shakti is called Kali, and that prana shakti at the individual level, at the universal level, is the highest that one can conceive. That is why the Tantra gives maximum importance to the Mahakali, the Kali as one of the Dasha Mahavidyas. So, further moving, he says, I'm interpreting the sutras of Ganapati Muni. He says that she is the secret power behind the working of our bodily systems and vital energy. Only through her do we live. And after explaining this way, again, Ganapati Muni, he correlates Kali with Samvarga Vidya and then says that Samvarga Vidya, Yam means this Kali Vidya, Kali Dasha Mahavidya, Yam, Samvarga Vidya Upanishadsu Giyate. In the Upanishad, this is what is known as the Samvarga Vidya. Kaischit Prana Vidya, and some people call it as prana vidya because it is directly connected with prana. Prana is a more direct form than samvarga. Then it says parair mukhya prana udgita vidya is, so udgita is another, like what is called mukhya prana, by which the highest sama chant is called the udgita vidya. So this is how you find the correspondence of the prana vidya and the udgita vidya of the Upanishad, that Muni is emphasizing as Samvarga Vidya, correlating the Kali Mahavidya of the Tantra. So this is just about one example how Ganapati Muni has given the correspondence between the Vidya, Samvarga Vidya, Prana Vidya or Udgita Vidya of the Upanishad with the Kali Dasha Mahavidya, where the emphasis is on the prana. And this prana is the time force, the life force and time force, they both supporting each other, or we realize the time through our life movement. Okay, or the life moves in time, in the course of time, everything develops, everything becomes digested, everything grows, everything develops and evolves because of the presence of Kala, because of the presence of the Prana. Then we take up one more Vidya, but before that, if you have any question with regard to this, I'll stop, I'll take a pause, and then we'll discuss and then go for the next few.
Is considered Shiva. Over here you say it's Krishna.
It's Krishna.
So how is this?
Yes, see, various texts, they highlight various things. Like in the Tantra, you have this whole concept of Kali dancing on the Mahashiva. And this whole world is considered as the Mahasmasana. Mahasmasana. So in that Mahasmasana, so Mahakala is the Shiva, which is on whose the Kali is dancing. Right. But in Sri Aurobindo's parallels, so instead of giving like importance to that Mahakala as Shiva, so he puts more emphasis on Krishna. Krishna as the Kala, linking it with the Gita. But Krishna says that Ahameva Akshaya Kala. I am the time, imperishable, indivisible, Akhanda Kala. And linking it with again the word Krishna as black, as Kala. So Krishna itself is Kala, Krishna, and the feminine form of it is Kali. And again, the Rudra Kali and Bhadra Kali, the two aspects of that. So Rudra Kali is that fierce form when she destroys, and when in her benevolent form, she is the Bhadra Kali, she is Soumya, she is Radha, she is Annapurna. She has all kinds of benevolence and all kinds of Soumya Rupa in the Bhadrakali form. So in the Bhadrakali form, again she is related with, not with Shiva, with Krishna. So the next correspondence can be with the Akshara Vidya and connected with the Tara Mahavidya of the Tantra and Akshara Vidya of Upanishad. So what is Akshara Vidya? This is something which is there in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It is explained to a Rishika, not explained by a Rishika, explained to Rishika by Rishi Yajnavalkya. And this knowledge is given by Yajnavalkya to Gargi. And who is Gargi? So it is said that it is his own wife, Yajnavalkya's wife. Her name was Maitri and also Gargi. So both the names you find in the Upanishads of Yajnavalkya's wife. So what was the question that Gargi raised? And where from this Vidya comes? There is also like interesting story that you will find. Yajnavalkya is one of the greatest rishis. Among all the rishis in the rishi tradition, Yajnavalkya and Ajatashatru are the two names which Sri Aurobindo pays highest regard to. I mean, all others are not inferior, but he pays highest respect because they have given, and especially when he talks about Yajnavalkya, Yajnavalkya has given us, the practical teaching of how to lead life in this world and then transform the life into a uh, into something higher with the force of the higher consciousness and live in this world. This connection between the world, the challenges that each one faces in the world, and then how to tackle it from a higher consciousness point of view. So that is what you find in Yajnavalkya's teaching. He is very practical, very humorous. So the story goes like this, that Janaka, now Janaka is again something which is given to a king, not Janaka as a king. So it's an epithet. Like if this is what is your credential and achievements, then you become Janak of this time. So one of the Janaka during Yajnavalkya's time, so he usually organizes conferences, huge conferences. And once he had organized a confluence of all the rishis of his time, and then everyone is seated in the assembly. So Janak made one announcement. He said, respected Brahmagyanis, rishis, I have 1,000 cows standing outside the court, in the courtyard. There are 1,000 cows, healthy cows. And on each one's hall, I have put a bag containing 1,000 gold coin. So each cow carrying 1,000 gold coin in a bag. And like this, you have got 1,000 cows. If any one of you proves yourself to the highest among all the Brahmagyanis, so all this wealth belongs to you, belongs to that person who proves that he is the highest. And there is pin drop silence. Who can claim I am the highest? I am the best of the best Brahmagyanis. Very difficult question, and very difficult to prove. And in that pin drop silence, so Yajnavalkya stood up and then asked his disciple. He says, Somya, my dear disciple, just carry those cows to our ashram. So, and there was commotion in the assembly. And Janak said, how dare you? Are you the best? So Yajnavalkya said, with folded hand, I say, I don't know whether I am best or the worst, but I need this much wealth for running my ashram. If you have any doubt, you can ask me questions. No problem. So then every rishi started asking questions. Huge chapter in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And the kind of questions with which he was flooded. I think maximum questions were asked by Gargi. He was uncontrollable. Maximum questions. And it was almost, like everyone thought today Yajnavalkya is gone. And finally Yajnavalkya had to tell Gargi, too many questions about Brahman is not good, your head will fall off. But she was to be satisfied with right kind of answers which Yajnavalkya gave. And finally it was Gargi who declared Yajnavalkya to be the best among all the Brahmagyanis. So Gargi asked him that, look, Yajnavalkya Mahoday, if Akasha is the warp and the woof of everything, if space is everything, what is Akasha made of? What is its texture? Can you feel the space? What is the texture of it? What is it made of? And Yajnavalkya said that, look, Gargi, Brahmanas call this imperishable. Imperishable. Who are Brahmanas? Those who have realized the Brahman. It is not coarse, it is not fine, it is not short, it is not long, it is not glowing, it is not adhesive, it is not shadowy, it is not dark, not airy, not even space, not sticky, not odorless, not tasteless, without eye, without ear, without voice, without wind, without energy, without breath, without mouth, without measure, without inside, without outside. It goes on describing it that it eats nothing. No one eats it. Here all phenomenality and relatedness are denied their validity. And after negating every conceptual attribute, what remains is that which is the eternal, that which is, that is the eternal, that is Akshara Brahman, the immutable word of perception. So he brings it down that if you want to understand the Akasha, so it is that. Akasha is that immutable word of perception with all these attributes or no attributes. Difficult to understand because it needs lots of contemplation. Again, to dive deep to experience each of these words which is given, that you have something, the imperishable Brahman, the Akshara Brahman, which has no eye, yet which sees, which has no ears, yet it hears. So all the contrasting things you will find. So it is Ananta Guna, it is Nirguna. It is no with no guna, with infinite gunas. And that is what is the description you find about the Brahman throughout the Upanishads. So now he says that this Akshara Brahman, this imperishable Brahman, which is also known as Akasha, is the immutable word of perception. And this immutable word of perception, the Tantrics call as Tara. The Tantrics call it as Tara, and in the morning I explain you, it is the feminine aspect of Tara. And what is Tara? Then the explanation Ganapati Muni gives. He says that Pranavasya Prasiddham Nama Tara. The word Tara is the famous name of Pranava. And that Pranava, Omkara is called Pranava. Why it is called Pranava? What does the word Pranava mean? Pranava means Pranava. It means that at every moment it unfolds itself in something new. Every moment is new. Kshane Kshane Navam Navam. Every moment it unfolds itself in a new form. It takes a new form. And the whole process of unfolding is unending, nirantara. So that's why it's called pranava. So by the time, like it is so fast, that by the time you think that oh, this is new, another new, it has appeared in another new, pranava. So he said, Tara iti pranavasya prasiddham naha. Now he says that pranava, which is Omkara, or the original vibration, the primordial vibration, the Adi Spanda, that Tara is the unmanifest sound that exists in the ether of consciousness. It is through this that we can go beyond the entire manifestation. So Tara is Om that has the appearance of the ether. Yam tu akashasya, yam na tu akashasya guna apitu akashe. So it means that it has its appearance in the ether. It is not an attribute of the akasha, but it is there in the akasha. So because it is there in the akasha, it pervades the ether as its underlying vibratory support. And at the same time, being in the akasha as its support, it transcends. Like in the Upanishad, you will find a lot of description of the Brahman, that it is bhuvana bhuta, bhuvana pravishta, but bhuvanatita. Like it has entered into the bhuvana, it is a part of the bhuvana, part of the world. Bhuvana bhuta, it has become the bhuvana. There's no difference between this world and its creator. Yet it is bhuvanatita. It is kalatita, transcends the kala, it transcends the bhuvan. The same way, here, it is a part, it pervades throughout the ether, yet it transcends. It goes beyond. This way, Tara, again, is related to Udgita, which is the highest form of Sama Gan, Sama chant. So now, the Udgita Vidya, again. So here, when we are finding the Akshara Vidya in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the Udgita Vidya is described in the Chandogya Upanishad. So both the Vidyas are connected with the Tara Mahavidya because she is the seeing word, the word of perception, the immutable word of perception as the Upanishads describe, as the Tantra describe. So she is the feminine form of that Akshara, which is the immutable word of perception, and it not only creates everything out of that Adispanda. It absorbs everything into it. And then when this absorption happens, again everything enters into that state of silence, which is that Nishabdam Tat Parabrahma. Okay. Ultimately, everything, all vibrations, because creation is nothing but vibrations. You can measure, is everything is measured by vibration. So whatever objects we have, whatever is there in this creation is a vibration, has a vibration in as its nucleus. So everything can be measured and explained in terms of patterns or in terms of vibrations, right? So again, all the vibrations they merge into the Adispanda, which is Nishabda, which is silence. So the essence of speech, therefore, when you turn to the Upanishads, you will find that the essence of all in the Udgita Vidya, in the Chandogya Upanishad, this is how it is explained that the essence of all the things is earth, the matter, the annam. The essence of earth is water. The essence of water is plants. The essence of plants is the person. The essence of person is speech. The essence of speech is the rik. The essence of rik is sama. The essence of sama is Udgita. And this Udgita is Om. This is the language of Chandogya Upanishad when it describes about the Udgita Vidya. And this Udgita is Om and is the supreme essence of Shabda or the sound. The sound is the source of the entire creation. Therefore, we say that it is by the world is created. By the Adispanda, from the Adispanda, that everything comes from that primordial vibration. So, Om then, if that is the primordial vibration, the sound of the entire universe, entire creation, then Om is the source of entire creation. And this Om is the highest symbol of Brahman and the Shabda Brahman, and from which the whole world proceeds. And when it is connected with the Mahavidya of Tara, so she is that primordial vibration, or she is that Devi who facilitates the manifestation of the Supreme Word, the Adispanda. She facilitates the manifestation into various forms in this creation. So that is how the Akshara Vidya, the Udgita Vidya, is connected with the Tara Mahavidya of the Tantra. So Bhavani Ashtakam is, there are 8 verses. It's an invocation to Bhavani, and at the end of every stanza, so it repeats Gatistvam, Tvameka Bhavani. Like, O Bhavani, O Divine Mother, you alone are my refuge. So I'll do all the 8 verses. न तातो न माता न बन्धुर्न दाता न पुत्रो न पुत्री न भृत्यो न भर्ता न जाया न विद्या न वृत्तिर्ममेव गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि भवावधावपारे महादुःखभीरो पपातप्रकामे प्रलोभी प्रमत्तः कुसंसारपाशप्रबद्धः सदाहं गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि न जानामि दानं न च ध्यानयोगं न जानामि तन्त्रं न च स्तोत्रमन्त्रं न जानामि पूजां न च न्यासयोगं गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि न जानामि पुण्यं न जानामि तीर्थं न जानामि मुक्तिं लयं वा कदाचित् न जानामि भक्तिं व्रतं वापि मातर्गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि कुकर्मी कुसङ्गी कुबुद्धिः कुदास कुलाचारहीन कदाचारलीन कुदृष्टिः कुवाक्यप्रबन्ध सदाहं गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि प्रजेशं रमेशं महेशं सुरेशं दिनेशं निशीथेश्वरं वा कदाचित् न जानामि चान्यत् सदाहं शरण्ये गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि विवादे विषादे प्रमादे प्रवासे जले चानले पर्वते शत्रुमध्ये अरण्ये शरण्ये सदा मां प्रपाहि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि अनाथो दरिद्रो जरारोगयुक्तो महाक्षीणदीनः सदा जाड्यवक्त्रः विपत्तौ प्रविष्टः प्रणष्टः सदाहं गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेक भवानि। शांति शांति शांति।